David Van Noy here with Van Noy Real Estate with your July market update for the Kansas City metro area. We're going to specifically drill down on the Jackson County, Missouri, and the Johnson County, Kansas market. So the Kansas City market as a whole continues to be and evolve a little bit more towards a balanced market. Inventory is rising across both counties. We're seeing internally that the showings on properties are actually a little bit less, and the expectations of sellers are not exactly being met when taking advantage of optimistic pricing. So we have more of a balanced pricing, or what you would call market pricing is the recommendation right now, as opposed to balanced pricing. In Johnson County, we have 1,420 homes for sale, and 1,426 are pending as of right now. And the homes sold in the last 30 days, 917. So traditionally over the last 5 years, we'd see that last 30 days number probably a little bit closer to the active listings number. So we're starting to see homes that are sitting on the market a little bit longer, and which means sellers that were used to receiving offers within 7 days are now receiving offers within 37 days. And so that's, of course, going to affect pricing and the negotiations a little bit as well. In Jackson County, there's 1,954 homes for sale, and we have 1,037 that are pending under contract right now. And homes sold in the last 30 days is 923. Now, the averages in both of those areas in terms of pricing is up slightly. So in Johnson County, we're seeing that the average home value is up about 6% year over year. And in Missouri, we're seeing that the average home value is up 4.2% year over year. So that's actually a pretty reasonable number that we would expect. But when people were in markets where they were expecting 15, 17, 20% appreciation, it's causing a little bit of turmoil between agents and sellers specifically. But buyers, you should see an opportunity right now because there's a market shift. The absorption rate in Jackson County, as an example, is up towards 5 months, and it was 3.83 months a year ago. Now, that's a really big difference. The interest rates continues to be a real big conversation nationally, as a lot of people suspect that those rates may come down. You've got people on both sides of that argument that suggest or think that it will come down. Most of those people are optimistic, thinking that they can take advantage of refinance boom or waiting to purchase, which I think could also potentially be a mistake because right now, and it could be a good decision, by the way, but right now what you're seeing is that there is a lack of new construction right now, especially in the Kansas City area, and that is also down nationwide, which is putting more pressure on the current homes for sale or the resale properties. And so what you want to be thinking if you're a active seller is you want to price below active competition to win offers. And this is contradictory to what a lot of sellers would like to hear and what people are doing in the market right now, because we're seeing price reductions are also at a high recently. So over the last 5 years, we haven't seen near this many price reductions. So a lot of sellers are coming out of the gate with really strong, what we'd call optimistic pricing, and then moving more towards market pricing. And in some cases, that's causing them to take less. And what we would generally recommend is that you get closer to market pricing, which means what the other properties are going under contract for in your area, so that you can receive offers quicker and you can cut down on the negotiations and the concessions that you'll make to a buyer. Also, think about incentives, rate buy-downs, closing cost help, things like that we haven't talked about for a few years. And this is especially true in the $350,000 to $600,000 range. One final note that I'll leave for you here is we're noticing a really big difference between the AVM or the computer-generated pricing that people are moving towards, whether it's a ChatGPT or some type of LLM to basically understand the market, and that's creating more optimistic pricing. And also the appraisers are using these softwares more, which is creating problems because you might find a strategy of pricing your property a little bit higher and find one buyer that would like to buy that property, but we're receiving actually more listings right now from people that sold their home in theory, and then an appraiser came back in and said, we're not going to give you that value, which means the deal cannot go through if it has a mortgage. That's the quick update here on the snapshot of what's going on in the Kansas City area. If you have specific questions about exactly what's going on with your property, or you'd like to talk about exactly what pricing should look like, if you'd like to achieve a sale in the next 30 days, call the office here, 913-393-9469, or you can reply to this email. Take care.